Today's review is two pen and ink drawing books by Alphonso Dunn. Now, he has a really good YouTube channel. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check that out, where he does lots of videos teaching you pen and ink drawing. But he brought out also these books a few years ago now, and I really enjoyed them. So I thought I'd give you a quick look through them. So we'll start with pen and ink drawing. So in the contents, we have supplies, strokes, shadings, simulating texture, sketchbooking, stages of a finished drawing, and secret line of balance. I won't show every single page, obviously, but I'll just give you my thoughts on this book here. Now, what I love, this startup page here, as you can see, I've underlined loads of things on it. He encourages, I think this was one of the first art books that I had bought that actually said, write notes inside this book, doodle here, circle important stuff. Up till then, I was keeping all my art books pristine and not daring to do anything with them. This book just liberates your mind from that. It encourages you to actually draw in the book. And I really love that. I really love that. I think it frees your mind and it just gives you the confidence and it encourages you to try things out. So here he goes on about drawing instruments, so all the different things you can use. Yeah, just use whatever you've got. I mean, here's even using a stick with ink, so you can use anything you want. And sketchbooks, again, doesn't have to be anything special, especially while you're practicing. And then he goes into strokes. So his drawings are fantastic, by the way, all the way through. He just gives you great examples of his own work, and which you can take little pieces of it, for example, just the beak and the eye, and you could reproduce it here and try it for yourself. So he explains you how to do the strokes, how to hold your pen, and then he gives you some basic types of strokes, which then you can try for yourself. I've tried a few out. I mean, you'll see throughout the book I've scribbled on it and tried my own versions, and it did make it a lot more enjoyable to learn pen and ink. Which is why I really love that he brought out his workbook as well, which I'll have a look through later. That was really a great companion to this book. So here gives you all types of different strokes that you can use and you can practice them. I'm not going to stay here and go over the details because I think you should buy the book. And I'm just saying how wonderful it is. Okay, shading, seeing values, which isn't easy. There are exercises in the workbook that help you with that, and different ways of making marks. And then you have your value scales, which are really useful. Here he teaches you light and how it hits different areas of the object. Shading around the form. So stippling, scribbling, different hatch marks, different cross-hatching, and then tips for shading with lines. So, I mean, this is something you just keep working through it, and there's just so much. You can go, I haven't looked at this for a long time, and I went back to it a few days ago, and I started scribbling again and going over some of the exercises. It's just so useful. And simulating texture. So then we get on to more complicated things. So he gives you some examples of different textures you can make with different shapes. Gives you the chance to try some out as well. Texture follows form. Again, fantastic drawings. Start with texture on simple forms. So you take a square and just put your texture on top of it until you get used to how it all works. Then how to follow a spherical form. I mean, there's just everything you'd ever want to know really here. And then we go into bring it all together. And then he goes on about sketchbooks, how to use your sketchbook. Use your sketchbook as a scrapbook. So he's really given you permission, which some of us need, to just mess around, just be free with things, just doodle, just whatever comes into your mind, just do it. There's no right or wrong. So as you can see, I think I copied, this is the original and this is the one I copied, this is the original, this is the one I copied. Just trying to learn how the different planes and the different strokes. So then we go into developing your own drawing process and stages of a finished drawing. So he has a photo and he takes you through with thumbnails and then takes you right through to the very end with his finished drawing. Yeah, there's just so much. And the secret line of balance, which we'll flip through this because this is something that he created for his book. And I think it should be something that you learn when you buy the book. And then send off so many wonderful pictures and your index, obviously. So you start off with this one and then you go into your Pen and Ink Drawing Workbook. And practically everything he's covered in this book is covered in this book. It's giving you a chance to practice it all. Again, you've got his lovely drawings. And again, it goes over the same thing. So shading, simulating texture, drawing exercises. This is really good. He's given you the finished drawing and then he gives you the outline with the strokes and then just the outline. And so you can gradually build up your skill with that one. And I really enjoyed that. So notes. And these are all, this is his original and then practicing. I was practicing with different widths of pen, a dip pen, fountain pen. So I was practicing with lots of different things to see the different effects it would make. And yes, you can see a little bit through the pages, but it really doesn't disturb as you start doing the exercises. It doesn't really matter. And again, basic strokes. So he gives you hatching and practice, and he gives you the strokes, and then you can practice them. And if they don't come very well, you can do it by the side. You can make little notes to yourself, which I've done quite frequently. Cross hatching, hatching, stippling, uneven hatching, scribbling, flowing lines, everything you could want. And then identify. So there's some exercises where he tells you to identify what sort of strokes he's used, etc. Shading. Again, I used different types of fine liners. I used a Lamy and then I used a biro. So again, all the different forms, how the contour lines wrap around them, which he has videos that go over this as well on his YouTube channel. Rate of gradation, you see some of the exercises I haven't done. I need to go back and do some of them. So again, here he gave you an example and then he just gave you the bare outlines and you just draw on your own hatching. This was fun to do. And again, how the sun hits different surfaces of different objects and depending on which side is facing the light and which isn't. Again, I haven't done some of these. And at the beginning, he gives it to you with numbers, so you can. It's quite easy to learn. And then he gives it to you without numbers. Shading curved surfaces. This was quite fun to do. So yeah, there's plenty of exercises to do here. And I think there's no wrong or right answers. It just depends on how you interpret it. There's no answer solution here. You can create texture patterns, create a texture chart. Plenty of space for doing everything you need to do. And this is just going over again, textures, how to wrap them around different shapes, different forms. And then drawing exercises. So he gives you, like I said, he gives you the object, the outline, and he shows you on his version how he shaded it, and then he gives you one version with the all the line work in it and one without, so you can go and do it yourself. So I've done a couple of these, not many, and I should do more. yeah, it's there is so much to work through. If you want to learn pen and ink, this is the book to get. I mean, there's loads of books on pen and ink, but this one is for beginners right through. I love doing this one. This is really for beginners right through, even to more, even if you've had much more experience. I think you'd find it useful. Again, you can write your notes. So yeah, these are two excellent books and I highly recommend them. If you want to learn from scratch like I did, this is so useful, and definitely 5 out of 5 stars for both books.